It's time for Dads Making a Difference, powered by First Things First. This transformative show will help you learn how to handle the stress of fatherhood, how to better relate to your child, navigate the child support system, and all things that come with being a dad. With your hosts, Reggie Madison and James Frankie Woods.
Old saying in the church, God will use your test to become your testimony. And when our testimony becomes other people's inspiration, then you affect transformation. Our guest today is all about transformation. He's a big man with big dreams, making a big impact in a big way. Joe Jenkins, welcome to the show, my brother. What's up?
Yes, sir. He be a joke, don't he? I like to tell people that.
Hey, well, go ahead and pipe me up.
You want to see what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling you.
Come on and pipe me up. This is just the environment that I prefer to be in.
Welcome to Dad's Making a Difference, man. Welcome.
Man, it's good to have you. Tell us a little bit about you, all right, man? Who are you, what you do, what's your family makeup, that kind of thing.
All right, my name is Joe Jenkins. I'm founder and CEO of the Brave Effect. Brave is an acronym for Building Relationships and Valuable Encounters. I created the organization. I put it all together while I was serving time in federal prison. I've served over 13 years in federal prison for a drug conspiracy. And what I often like to share with people is that and what I always push is positioning versus survival. A lot of time, because of the households are not positioned, then we grow up in survival mode. And because I grew up in survival mode, I continue to survive. If all my mom know was to survive, then that's all she could pass down. So I want to break those chains. I want to help people get put in position, whether, and re-entry isn't just about getting out of prison and re-entering society. Someone may be re-entering from the loss of a loved one, from a bad divorce, from mental health illness, issues, from homelessness. So there's a whole, it gets broad, but my ultimate goal is to put families and households in position, because if they're not in survival mode, a crime will be committed.
Yeah.
But if they're position people prosper. Let's go.
That's good stuff. See, he don't realize. He just gave us the whole show in a second. I got all kind of stuff to come back to. Okay, all kind of stuff. But before we get into it, we like to ask every person this. Tell us your daddy's story. Was your dad present? What do you think of when you think of your experience with your dad?
No, he was not present. I can tell you this. I got to the age of, because I seen somewhere in there you asked like the importance of dad, and I'm not going to try to jump and get your questions out, but I looked at it. I was 27 years old when I told my mom, like, I want my dad. And I think it might have been Father's Day or something like that. And at this time, I hadn't done my first prison sentence, so I'm still bona fide street dude. So let's not get that confused. Like, street dudes don't eventually. You see these chills, like, let's not get it bona fide. Like, however, it must have been Father's Day or something, and I had went to church or whatnot. And we will go to church. It starts somewhere. Seeds were planted. Let's say that. Right. And I went to and David Hill was my pastor at the time. He's passed away now. However, I told my mom I want my dad. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people with their dads, and something inside me said, I want my dad. Like, I don't care no more about what he didn't do. He can't do much for me now, like, as far as, because we think of, I'm like, but he could, because he could give me nuggets. But I'm like, I didn't need him financially. I didn't need him to give me this. I needed to identify with a man. I needed to identify with where I came from. I needed what was mine, whether it was trash in some people's eyes or not, it's mine. So let me put the value on what it is. But right now, I knew that at 27 years old, I wanted my dad.
Man, he just gave me chills.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh, I felt that.
Let me see him.
You see him? I
got you. It's official, y'all. Okay.
Got you. So even with all that's going on with the fathers coming around, let me ask you this question. As men going through life sometimes, what made you change so you can better your children?
When I looked at, so my second time in prison, I was facing a mandatory life sentence. And I going back in at 40 years old, and I looked in that mirror, and I got this orange jumpsuit on in the mirror. I'm like, this can't be the end of my life. And God, if you give me one more chance, like, just give me one more shot at it. Just one more shot. I do right by it. And that's part of the vow that I keep today. Because I'm like, the youngsters, they run around calling you Unc. They in there like it's a Thunderdome, you understand? It's like gladiator school, and you know, and I'm sitting here at this time. I've become a pretrial and sentencing consultant, so now I'm helping everybody with their legal work. And I also had identified, because I had an attorney, I had identified with the fact that I had spent many years in the streets faking. And what I mean by that, because anybody that know me from the city, they know me, I'm City Coach Joe. However, before I was all of that, I was once a kid that had the scholarships to Baylor and Macaulay. But I went and I flunked the test on purpose because nobody over there was like me. And why would I go into a foreign land? You get what I'm saying? But had my mom been in position, she would have realized that I flunked the test on purpose and said, no, he going back in, he don't flunk this, and I'm gonna sit outside this door and he gonna pass. That's the difference between position and survival. However, I had to throw that in there. But I asked my attorney, because she allowed me to become a partner in my case as I'm fighting a mandatory life sentence. And the thing about it, this was a little 65-year-old, probably maybe 100, I only think she weighed 120 pounds, Caucasian lady. And she was what God sent me to, because when she bent the corner, I was like, okay, God, you got jokes.
Tell me.
However, she was one of the most powerful ladies that I knew, and I never forget when she allowed, because she would tell me how her secretary would tell her, like, how she would get excited to come see me versus seeing other people that she would defend. And she said, and I asked her why, she said, because you actually know what you're talking about. You know how, because I would present her with case law and stuff like that, so I was fighting my case. And one day I said, Ms. Corey, I want to ask you a question off the record. Because mind you, I was one of the 32 worst of the worst criminals in Chattanooga, and that had been splattered everywhere, so everybody else is saying that I'm the worst criminal. But I just needed somebody to say that I was good, because I knew that I was good. And so I asked Ms. Corey, I said, Ms. Corey, I said, I want to ask you a question off the record. She said, okay. I said, I want to know what you think about me. Because the question was what made me change. I ain't forgot the question for my kids. And I asked Ms. Corey, I said, I want to know what you think about me. And she said, you really want me to answer that question? I said, yes, ma'am, I do. I never forget. She took off them glasses and she cocked her head to the side and she said, I'm highly disappointed in you, because of all people, you could have done so much more for your community than what you have done. And out of my mouth came the words, and I still can. Mind you, I'm facing a life sentence. Like, so how, you know, and as I would have talks and, you know, guys with God and, you know, and I'm not trying to go religious on here, but however, I never forget when God, he said to me as I was walking down the steps, because when I went back in, I did ask him, like, what was going on. I was in the back of the police car. I hadn't sold drugs in 7 months when they arrested me. And so, because I had got a decent job. And so I said, God, what is going on? And he was like, it was clear that he said, do you still trust me? I said,
what you gonna do with that?
I said, man, yeah, but come on, not another one of these. Last time I trust you, I did 10 years. However, I said, yeah, man, come on, you know. So I walked down the steps. 2 weeks later, my foot hit the bottom of the steps, and I heard the nudge of the Spirit said, hey, you remember that word you gave at your uncle's funeral a couple of months ago? I was like, yeah, 2 Chronicles 2015. Jehoshaphat, get in position. He said, yeah, that was for you too. Now get in position. So that's that's how we get started. Hey, y'all, let's go.
I ain't got no more questions.
Right. So you keep using this word survival.
Yeah.
Survival mode.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people have never really, the people listening have never been in like true survival mode.
Right.
What is that even about?
And maybe they have been, because I'm sure you got some people that's listening that don't even have life insurance on their household.
Say that.
They're living in survival mode, because soon as something happens, then they're going to have fish fries, they're going to have GoFundMe's, they're going to be at the bottom. Now they in debt, now they surviving, now they selling their food stamps, now they this and that, now they buying hot stuff, doing all this. They're in survival mode. They don't realize it. I mean, whether you do a little bit or a lot, you're still surviving. Yep. And you haven't put yourself in position so that you can set up your children and your grandchildren and your children's children. He said, I never seen the righteous forsaken. I never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their children begging for bread. So when you line up with righteousness, you put yourself in position where you're not surviving, but you position yourself to where your children are not begging for bread. Come on, let's go, man. Y'all got the right one today.
You trying to get an offering. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna say the Joe Jenkins DMD offering plate afterwards.
You know they can donate to the Brave Effect, though. Go ahead. thebraveeffect.org. Go ahead.
But even in that, what are some you're trying to help people move from survival to prosperous, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
To position.
Yes.
And so, what is it that defines that? What's that leap look like? What does it look like when you are now not just trying to live from day to day, to make it from day to day? All right, we're trying to get them to a place where, you know, they got savings, they got wealth, they're pushing. You know, what's that look like?
What does it look like for me
push
or
somebody,
to
help somebody
get
move?
First of all, so sometimes I say, like, I don't really understand the question, but I can give you what I think you're coming with.
Okay.
All right, so basically exposure. If I can't taste it, then how do I know that I even want it? And if I'm not close to you while you're saying, oh, man, that was good, man, that was good, I can't even say, give me a bite. Or can you show me where to get some? I gotta be around it to want it. So when the people that come into contact with me and with the Brave Effect, what we're doing, when they realize that I stepped out of prison and purchased my first home in 15 months, and I tell them, like, you don't have to hide your past, because when they told me that they was going to approve me for the house, which at the time was like 160 something, the first thing I told them that was giving me the money, verbatim, I said, look, y'all win. Nobody never trusted me with $160,000 worth of dope when I was in the street. And they all giggled and laughed, but I'm like, so now, when I turn around and then I get a whole game, remember, the housing market just shot up. This is what positioning looked like. So the housing market shot up, right? So now my house is valued at worth over $250,000, right? Yep. Man, what I got? I got equity, right? So I wonder, how you get that new truck? I capitalized. How'd you buy your wife a car?
Right.
Man, I capitalized.
Right.
I mean, because the mission I'm going on, it's the old mindset that we're going to live in a house and pay it off in 30 years. Who's going to do that? This house will be paid off in 5 years. I'm just waiting to get my lick.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. And so, all right, you going and you helping guys that have been in prison, right?
Right.
What's the challenge? What's the resistance? What resistance do you face from men, from fellas?
The resistance. The resistance be. Man, that's hard because my mind is somewhere else right now. So let me give you this, because you know sometimes when your mind on something. So basically, the difference in me is I'm only here to assist the people that already has a renewed mindset. So there's plenty of programs to get you to change your mind. Like, I'm not here. I work full time. I got a full-time job. I got not the Brave Effect, but I got a full-time job. I got a full-time wife. I got the Brave Effect. So I don't want the people I got to convince who already has a renewed mindset, and let me walk with you in that. There's other programs that can beg you. That's not me. So basically, I have steps, and I'm a vetting system. So by the time some guys they get us for the clothes and this, that, and other, they probably not 100 on this, that, and other. Yeah, it's but you'll be back.
What I hear, what I hear you saying is, I ain't got time to waste. If you ain't ready,
no,
come back when you're ready. We'll take who's ready. We move forward.
And let me give you this: I had a young man that he's part of the Brave Effect. He messed up. Because I believe is one thing I wake up every day looking for, that grace. That's grace. And I don't forget to give it. And as a young man, he messed up. We went to bat for him big time, went back to jail. But the whole time he was in jail, I've been working with him. Because I don't believe in just second chances, because it took me more than twice. So when we talk second chances, I get it, but I'm not really fond of that. Some people going to screw up 3 or 4 times. Because if they don't get it the second time, are we done with them?
Right. There's a difference. There's a difference between somebody that is trying to get a truly renewed mind and slips up versus someone that really is in their old ways.
Oh, I can see all that.
Take advantage.
And they can't contact me.
Yeah.
No, they can't contact me.
So that's one thing me and my son talk about, is that when you get to a certain position in life, you got your one foot in the streets and one foot in a career world. That ain't gonna work no more.
No. That
ain't gonna work no more. So you take the street world and you take Brave Effect and you put that together, but you make it a positive situation for fathers.
Because I'm always gonna be me. So you know how sometimes they be like, you ain't City Coach Joe no more. Why am I not? I just don't have to do everything that he done. Because if a person, let's say for instance, somebody see me They be like, yo, what's up, City Coach? Yo, man, I heard you got the brand. I be like, hey, bro, don't call me City Coach. I just killed my opportunity to be able to impact because who he know me as, I told him, I shut him down versus saying, yeah, bro, what's up, man, this, that, and the other, man, I appreciate it. Woo, 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 man, how can I help you? Man, I got that for you. But if you're going to send him away with the fact that you cut him at the legs if I tell him I'm not City Coach Joe. And City Coach Joe is the one that got the game. He the one that gonna get me through most doors that I need to get in, not Joe Jenkins.
See, this is why I like
Right.
See, this is what I try
Open
to
the doors.
Thank you. That's me. Alan Green had that same conversation on here. Alan was saying that when you forget that I'm the same little dirty kid from the project, boy, that's when you gonna fall.
There you go.
That's when you gonna fall. So let me ask you this question. So moving forward, what do your kids love about their dad now?
Oh man. Okay, so I give you.
Ooh, look at that smile.
Yeah,
I got-
right.
I gotta stay authentic
Come on.
because my 30-year-old baby girl just surprised me the other day with her 3-year plan, and she sent it to me. There go those chills again.
Right.
One must have a 3-year plan written out and in my hands in order to be a brave participant. I won't take you without it. We got to know where you're going. And most re-entry organizations, they tell you where to go. Nobody ever asked you where you want to go. I make it personal. It's yours. You tell me where you want to go. I want to help you get there. You're more invested if it's what you want to do. And like I tell people, I'm not all about all these papers, and I get the numbers. Ever since I've been getting in trouble, they slide us papers to fill out. Starting in school. Have you ever thought about killing yourself? Have you this? Have you that? Have you that? All these papers that keep the funding coming. We know how to answer all that stuff right to get what we want. And it helps us none if nobody's helping us with our mental. So you also have to do 2 sessions of mental health therapy in order to be with the brave. Because we want to target them, because everybody got a little something going on. So my whole point is, like, I'm not sliding a bunch of papers. I want, talk to me. Let's get right here. And then here's something else that's key. And I know you guys probably gonna help people. Getting a job for a person, that is the easiest thing in the world to do. They're lined up around the corner. You don't get no brownie points from me for getting nobody a job. The job is the safe haven. The issues come when they get off of work and they're going back into a household where they have a renewed mindset, where they have principles now and morals, and they have boundaries. And that person that they came back home to, they have none of that. So now they're in the house butting heads. You got wives and children that don't want nothing more to do with them. And now they're living in a distant place inside their own home. Who helps them and talks them through those moments? Because that's normally after 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and most offices are closed.
Well, we talked about all the time.
Yeah.
These things don't stop ringing, do
Nah,
they?
You see me put my head down.
Yep,
like, you
they
know?
don't stop ringing.
Yeah, I was just checking emails before I pulled up, man. Fathers, I'm sorry this is the last class for the year, but we gonna still tap in with you, man. But my thing to you is today say, ooh, look at that. So I got tongue
I got him, y'all. He can't even talk.
You got me tongue tied a little bit. But I like to give fathers, these men, they flowers today. You didn't even know I was gonna do this. So let me say today, Joe Jenkins is about Joe Jenkins. We are proud of you from Chattanooga, Tennessee. From Dads Making a Difference, we salute you. Keep doing what you're doing. You are changing the world, one man at a time. And we gonna ride with you. And thank you for coming through Dads Making a Difference, man. And today, we want to say thank you for first thing first, Dads Making a Difference. We're giving you your flowers, bro.
I appreciate that, man.
We do.
Let's
We
go.
do.
One.
This is about changing narratives. That's the whole point of this show.
Okay.
And so the reason we put a bunch of men on here, fathers on here, is so that, people, when they start seeing black men, men period, they connect that with a positive narrative.
Right.
All right? They need to connect your voice with positive, with what's going on,
Right.
with impact, with transformation. Right? And so, being incarcerated, there's a whole lot of brothers have been incarcerated. They don't define
That's
you.
just a small portion. of who I
Exactly.
am.
It's part of your story,
Right.
but it's not it's not your identity.
Right.
It's helped you be the person you are. And there's a whole lot of people that, because of that, are impacted in a positive way.
Right.
And so, man, we appreciate it.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thanks y'all for having me on. It was one thing that stuck in my head because I had a lot of different questions, and one of them that hit me on my way over here, and it was like some to the degree of, what's important or what makes fathers so important. And we always look at it with the children, and I'm not taking anything away from that. But I haven't heard anybody say that fathers need to see fathers. Fathers need to see fathers.
Yep.
Whether you got it right or not, whether you figured it out or not. I screw this thing up. It doesn't come with the instruction manual, but I need to see other men not giving up.
That's it.
Did he just recruit for Dad Baker to do?
We just gonna play this
We
over
just
and
gonna
over.
put this on repeat, man.
Right.
I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Thanks, and thanks for all that y'all do in the community as well. It does take us all to help, get these households in position. Y'all, work on the dads and continue to do what we do and continue to lift them up and help them understand what position it in. Because the thing about it is, when you get the head position, then it trickles down.
Exactly.
I've literally watched in my organization households get in position all the way to the 13-year-olds. They don't think the same. Now they're thinking with a positioning mindset. So it works. Keep going. One household at a time.
There's nothing like getting the father in spot in place.
You see his eyes light up when he says
There's
that.
nothing like getting the father. Because you're right. For me, even working at First Things First, right, and doing this stuff for a living, like I'm a gazillion times better dad than I would have been. Like I have no doubt. There's things I wouldn't even have thought to do, wouldn't held myself accountable to do, that I get held accountable just because I'm out here telling other brothers to do this stuff.
Right.
And if my kids don't, we ain't got no relationship, what am I doing?
Right.
What really am I doing?
If they won't buy the product, what should I get? That's just trash.
Ding, ding, ding.
So,
Nugget again.
do I get the? Are y'all gonna tell them like how to contact
We are.
me?
We're gonna do these 5 questions.
Oh,
and
we going to
we're
the
gonna
5
do
questions?
Yes,
I thought
we
I got
are.
away from.
No,
Yep.
God.
No, I'm just kidding. Come on,
He was
let's go.
trying to
Let's go.
usurp it. Did you
Let's
catch
go,
that?
let's go.
What makes dads irreplaceable?
What makes dads irreplaceable? Come back to that one.
All right. How many kids you have?
6.
All right. What's the funnest thing or the craziest thing you've ever done with any of your kids?
Okay. They're not ready for this one.
Go.
But
Hit them with it.
I promised myself I won't fake it for nobody. So this is not about to be a Disney World thing. So I was breaking up with this young lady.
I'm really intrigued already.
I was breaking up with a young lady, and my oldest daughter, she's been my right hand girl for years. And in the middle of the night, I had her come help me move all my stuff out the house.
What's that conversation like? Was she glad you was breaking up?
Oh, she a daddy's girl, so whoever ain't treating daddy right, like it's on, like it's whatever
She was
daddy
ready
say.
to go.
Right.
But I think that was because she always remembered, like she was like, Dad, that is so crazy, because like it was like a robbery, like. We had I'm from the street, dude. Like, I had to case my leaving, but the thing is, and see, it can get serious because for so long, that young lady that I left, and I probably didn't do it in the ideal right way, but if I'm in fear that she might want to be domestic, with me trying to go, then like some might be like, that was a coward thing to do. What I need to do it in a very smart way, but.
Right.
Yeah, that's what was the craziest thing. I called my daughter in on the caper to help me get up out of there. Let's get this stuff moved and gone.
Advice you give your.
That's funny.
Look at it. I'm still laughing.
This ain't gonna be like your usual.
I ain't
Let's
heard
go.
that one. Bro.
I already knew.
What advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self is to embrace myself, man. Not be afraid to be me. Not be afraid to be different. Like I said, I was a fat kid with a jerry curl, a nerd. Nobody wanted to hang. They didn't pick me to be on the teams. Like, I would have embraced myself. And because that's the message that I seen. Like, it's all right. Like, the weird people are the people that's paid. Everybody's trying to be paid, being popular.
I tell you
but it's the weird people that's got them dollars doggone rolling in. I mean, look at all the weird people. They paid on another level. So, and it's not all about being paid, but it does help when you're paid.
Oh, money answers a whole lot of evils.
Yeah. So my point is, I would just like I would embrace being myself and just getting an understanding on how does that feel and feeling good about being myself.
That's good. That's good. So how tell them if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
All right, you can catch me on all. You can catch us on all social media platforms. That is The Brave, BRAVE, then Effect, EFFECT, and you can also go. And I have written. So if you have a loved one that's serving time in prison, you can download a free download of the book that I've written. It's called the Positioning Book, and it's going to position them to walk out of prison and be successful as they come out. But the reentry starts when you go in. So you can go to thebraveeffect.org and you get your free download of it, and you can enjoy a wonderful website. So you can check us out right there.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I'm going to ask this last one, then we're going to sign out. If you could take your teenage son or daughter anywhere, not teenage, just any your children anywhere, and provide them with any experience, what would it be?
I make sure that they I make sure that they go into the rooms with me when I'm stepping in rooms with CEOs and experience what the next level of life is. Like, for instance, when I got my the James R. Map from the Citizen of the Year Award from the NAACP, I took my family, I took my children, I took my grandchildren. I need them to understand that you belong in these rooms. Take your rightful position.
Joe, man, you an inspiration, man.
It really is.
This one of those, I hope people you listen to it once, go back, listen to it again, catch all the nuggets, listen to it a third time.
And tell your friends.
There you go.
And help somebody that's incarcerated. And we're not just about incarceration. What we want to do is we want to create those valuable encounters after you come home, and one great thing about the Brave is that once you're done, or once you've done your all your assignments, or your 8 weeks or your 6 months, we've created a Brave squad, meaning that you can remain with us, remain part of the Brave team, because what I realized was most people want to be a part of something positive. And that's why they join churches and Masons and fraternities and sororities. And a lot of organizations, once you get that certificate and they get their number, then they're done with you. Yep. So we want to create a Brave family. So we breed that Brave team. That way you can continue to be a part of what we do and something positive for your household.
Okay, once you in, you in.
All right. Hey, man, thank y'all for having me. I got to get out of here because I got to go to work.
Hey, man, keep making a difference, bro.
You've been listening to Dad's Making a Difference, powered by First Things First. Join us for our next episode.